Hi, welcome to the last AC on Unit 3. So this is essentially AC 3.2 drawing conclusions, okay? So again, like the last section, this is a lot of marks actually, 15 marks. Now I think this is easier to get. Now you should be spending about 70 minutes on this section. So when you get to the second day, if you've done everything in order, this is what you'll be doing after lunch. Okay, after lunch you've got 2 hours. This section should take you about 70 minutes. So, you know, I would urge you, if you are running behind, that if all else fails in that final afternoon, get on with this section, because for shorter answer questions, if it's worth 4 marks or 6 marks, we can only get a maximum of 4 marks or 6 marks, and however much you write, you're not going to get more than 4 marks or 6 marks. So it's worth spending the time on this. Now, up until now, you may not have mentioned your actual brief that you've been given in the controlled assignment in too much detail, okay? But for this section, you should really be referring to this first of all. Now, it will be a story about a crime from crime scene to courtroom, and the chances are you are going to have to make an assessment as to whether you think the sentence and verdict were correct, okay? And you have to essentially go through the sections thinking about, well, has the right conclusion been drawn? Now, obviously, you can use other examples as well, but the reality is, you want to start with the controlled assignment. So, has essentially justice been done? Okay, and the way you work it out is using the following criteria. Okay. Now, again, I would be putting subheadings into my work, and I will talk through each of these. Okay, so first of all, describe what it is. Okay, what is the definition of a safe verdict, miscarriage of justice, and the rest of them you can read, so you can work that out yourselves. And then give examples. Okay, so again, you are assessing, well, what makes a certain verdict safe? Okay, so in the case of Colin Pitchfork, who was the first man convicted of rape and murder because of DNA analysis. We know that DNA analysis is incredibly accurate, and therefore, the fact that his DNA was found on the bodies of the dead women is indisputable in a way. So it makes for a safe verdict. Now, a safe verdict is not just the evidence being absolutely concrete, it's also the fact that the case itself in the court was carried out correctly. All the rules in a Crown Court case were followed and adhered to, as well as the evidence being admissible, credible, and reliable, and all those sorts of things. Okay, so comment on whether you think the controlled assignment example is a safe verdict. Now, if you don't think it's a safe verdict, you've then got something of a choice, haven't you? Is it a miscarriage of justice, or is it an unsafe verdict? So again, explain the subtle difference between the two of those. Now, a miscarriage of justice tends to happen when an innocent person goes to jail for a crime they did not commit. So you need to explain that. So there's something that's gone wrong usually with the evidence, although it could obviously be something gone wrong with the court procedure. An unsafe verdict is when possibly the right person has gone to prison, but they are arguing that the procedures in court were incorrect, therefore they have not had a fair trial. Okay, now in the case where that happens and a judge finds that it is an unsafe verdict, then there can be a retrial. Okay, so a guilty person is not going to get away with it on a technicality necessarily. Okay. Think about what a just verdict is. Think about why do we have punishment and what a just verdict is, and also just sentencing. Okay, and again, you've got examples of what happens if someone is given too lenient a sentence, having been found guilty of a crime. So essentially, talk your way through those examples. Refer back to the controlled assignment. Okay, so I don't think this section is too tricky. I think this is a relatively straightforward write-up. Make sure your notes are decent and in order with lots of examples. And finally, don't copy out the textbook, because if you copy out the textbook, we will find out and therefore we're going to have to give you 0 marks, okay, which obviously means your grades will be affected. So good luck with this final section, and good luck for the controlled assignment in a few weeks' time.